Hi, hey, welcome to the YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna be sharing with you all my first ever PC build. Roll that intro. First off, I built my first PC 7 months ago, August of 2018. For the past 7 months, I've been recording and putting it together, adding fans, modding my case, doing all the alterations with it. Basically, first 4 months of having this system, I've constantly worked on it, tweaked it, and changed some things around. I didn't make a video then since the build wasn't finished yet. So for the past 3 months, the build has stayed the same how it is now. I just felt that it was the right time to make a video about it. It is my first PC that I built. I want to make sure that I have the memory of it by making this video. So let's start off with the specs. For my CPU, I'm running an Intel i7-8700K. That's the 8th generation chips from Intel. It has 6 cores and 12 threads. For the motherboard, I went with the EVGA Z370 for the win. Just a regular for the win edition. As for my RAM, I have 16 gigabytes of G.SKILL Aegis. I got mine for 150 bucks. That's running at 3000 megahertz. That was the cheapest I could find, a 3000 megahertz 16 gigabyte kit. Now, if I was to buy the same RAM kit, they run around 60 bucks. RAM prices have definitely come down. It was just so unfortunate that I built my system at the time that RAM prices were really high up there. As for my storage, I am using a Samsung 860 EVO that has 500 gigs of space. And as for my power supply, I have a 600 watt BQ from EVGA 80 plus bronze semi-modular power supply. My power supply is actually the minimum recommended power supply to run my graphics card, which is EVGA GTX 1080 Ti for the win 3 edition. I went big on that one. So the EVGA graphics card 1080 Ti has a 3-fan cooler design, but I found that it was getting still a little too hot to my liking. So I saw on Amazon that EVGA was selling their closed loop cooler hybrid mod for their graphics card, and this hybrid mod was compatible with the EVGA 1080 Ti graphics card for the Win 3, and so I got that and I actually installed it by myself. So I had to take off the 3-fan cooler design, clean it off. It was actually an easy installation, so that is one thing that I did to my graphics card. So within the month, I got all my parts for my PC. I went on EVGA's website and I saw that the actual same graphics card, the GTX 1080 Ti, went down around 100 bucks from the price I got it for. So Micro Center was kind enough to actually give me the difference between EVGA's website and their retail price, and I put those funds towards getting a better CPU cooler. My original parts list, I only had a Hyper 212 Evo, which is a very good cooler, but it's not enough for overclocking. So I'm running EVGA's closed loop cooler, the 240 variant, which keeps my CPU temperatures really low. So the case that I got to house all my components was actually the Cooler Master Masterbox Lite 5. But this one was not the RGB variant, it was the Micro Center variant. They were able to only give me red LED fans for a lower price. Unfortunately, this case had an airflow problem because the front panel was really choked off. So I modified it to have a little bit more airflow. As you can see, the front of it has a whole bunch of holes drilled through it. With the side panel on or off, I only saw discrepancies of maybe 1 to 2 degrees in CPU temperatures and GPU temperatures, so my modification worked. As for the last and latest modification I've done for my computer is voiding my warranty and delidding my processor. I felt that it was necessary to delid processors, especially if it was not soldered, such as the 8th generation Intel CPUs, and I do not regret any of it. My CPU has been cooler and I was able to have a lot more headroom and overclocking. In result, I am actually running my 8700K at 5.1 gigahertz at around 1.35 volts. And whenever I'm running a video or doing a stress test with my CPU, the max temperatures that I've monitored was around mid 70s, never reached 80s at all. So it stayed around 70s, and during gaming it never passed 60. So it was well worth it for the D-lid. And lastly, notice that I never called my PC a gaming PC. I never introduced it as this is my first ever gaming PC, as it is not only a gaming PC. I render a lot of videos, I edit a lot of pictures, and do a lot of digital media. And of course, as my first PC build, I had to name it, given the trend with what parts I went with: EVGA motherboard, EVGA CPU cooler, EVGA graphics card, EVGA power supply, predominantly an EVGA system, except the case. I named her Eve. So this was just a video solely about my first PC build, but if you'd like to see maybe a desk setup video of my setup back here, sound off in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.